Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to the last day of VEDA for August 2016. VEDA is vlogging every day in August. They also do one in April, vlogging every day in April, so mark your calendars. And the idea behind it is just to learn as much as you can about vlogging by doing it every day. So that raises an interesting question. What did I learn by vlogging every day in August? And let's see, I think this time what I learned most is, well, I learned that my current setups have some limitations when it comes to uploading large videos. So a lot of my videos have been in the 20-minute 20-25 minute range, and if I recorded them at high quality levels, which I've been trying to do this time around in VEDA, it can take a while to upload them on residential wireless connections. So one way I've been able to deal with that a little bit is to use applications to downsample them. So to take them from a higher quality rate, like maybe 60 frames a second, down to 30 frames a second. That's half of the still pictures in each video, so it cuts the file size by about half. So that's made it a little bit more manageable, and so there are a couple of things I can do with processing. I'd like to find a way to automate it, at least for these videos that don't require or that don't have a lot of editing. I talked with some people in comments on their videos and mine about saying during videos, and they said that they say a lot. It's just they sit there and edit everyone out. So I'd like to take a different approach. I'd like to just try to say it less often. In the meantime, what am I going to learn? What do I want to learn, like, between now and April when VEDA happens again? Well, like I said, I'd like to automate the process, get a process down. I'd like to integrate more GoPro video. I've seen a lot of vloggers that successfully use a GoPro with an external microphone. They also use their mobile phone to kind of do a picture-in-picture effect. I think that would work better, especially for the car vlogs. I think you'd be interested in seeing what I'm seeing through the windshield while hearing me chat about VEDA subjects. So I'd like to spend some time getting the use of GoPro footage down. I really enjoyed adding Hyperlapse to my, Hyperlapse effects to some of my videos. I use those for a lot of time lapses. The Hyperlapse software is available for free for Android and Windows Phone, plus there are desktop versions available for Mac and PC. The desktop version gives you a much smoother effect, and so what it does is it essentially takes a long video, like a walk through your favorite park that might take quite some time, or a walk to lunch or something like that, and it cuts it down to a much more manageable for a video consumer size. So it's just more pleasant to watch. I mean, it's also smooths it out, so it looks at things that are common in the various frames and tries to match them out. So I did a bike ride, and if you just watch the raw video of the bike ride, in one of my earlier videos I showed it, the raw video was kind of shaky because, it's a bike, and the wheels, they hit bumps and stuff, and so that carries through the camera. It was mounted to the handlebars. Now, one way you can smooth that out is to put a head-mounted camera, but that adds a little weight to your head, which can get annoying on a long ride. But if you use this Hyperlapse software, it just filters out all of the bumps. And you might have seen a similar effect used in the movie Star Wars Return of the Jedi, where in the speeder bike scenes they're going through the forest and it's very smooth and fast, and the way they did that is they took they had the cameraman run through the woods, and he was running and jumping up and down, and they only took the frames from the top when he reached the top of his stride, and so by only taking those frames they made it seem a lot faster because all the frames in between are skipped. but they also made it look a lot smoother, so you kind of get this flying through the forest effect. And that's what I noticed with the bike videos. To me, it looked almost like a drone flying down the street because it was so smooth and stable. And that's one of the nice things about drone footage, is that as long as people aren't crashing it, it's nice and smooth. So let's see, I'd like to, yeah, I think I am going to need to get another computer, which there are a whole bunch of products announced in Microsoft. Supposedly they're going to be announced in Microsoft's Surface line of products in January or so, first quarter of 2017, they say, which means they're going to miss the holidays. In the meantime, I might get an SSD for my desktop, because since I originally wanted them, I think my existing spinning Rust hard drive is might be failing, because it just seems to be thrashing a lot, meaning that it's always active. And so I think I might try replacing that with an SSD in the interim. That'll cost just $100 or $2, and much less than a whole computer. And then I'll wait and see how things go with the Surface announcements in the first quarter of 2017. So that would still give me plenty of time to be ready for VEDA. Another thing is I did a little bit at the end of VEDA last time, and I didn't get to do it this time, is just take some time on Sunday and record a week's worth of VEDA videos. I found that they were shorter, but I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, people seem to be watching, like if I do a 5-minute video, they seem to watch it all the way through, but I need to pay more attention to the analytics there. But if I do a longer video, a lot of them are watching those all the way through, so I don't know. I've heard that longer videos are better for viewership and gaining viewership. I'd like to try and focus, I think, in the interim on looking at issues of the day, because like I mentioned in yesterday's video, minimalism is a hot topic. I know my wife watches a lot of videos on minimalism, and I've always been interested in it just from an efficiency standpoint. I like to, not have a lot of extra stuff that I have to take care of and, maintain. I mean, there's only so much stuff. I mean, even though I live in a house and there are all of these things I have, which of them do I interact with every day? Which of them do I interact with every month? Which of them do I only interact with every year? And I know there are lots of things in my house that I haven't touched in 5 years. And so I really think that those things, as much as I might enjoy the thought of having them or memories of those items, I really shouldn't have them, because they're just in the way most of the time. And I think, so that's one of the things I plan to do. But, I'm just trying to get this, the video production process down in a minimalist sense, so that I can just film a video, upload it. I definitely learned this time, last time I messed around with a whole bunch of different video tools, and I didn't find one that I really liked, because in their easy to use mode, they just didn't do any of the stuff I wanted, and a lot of them cost money, or in their complex mode that did some of the things that I wanted, they were really expensive, or very cumbersome to use. And I also wasn't getting a lot of the boost. One that I really thought was interesting, it promised a whole bunch of really fast processing, but apparently not on my computer with my video card. So, I mean, the video rendering times weren't really improved. So just video processing in general takes a lot of time for me right now. And in order to make vlogging faster and more convenient, I'm going to have to, get that to an automated process where I can just drop the videos somewhere in some folder, and then from there, just let it transcode and upload itself. I've been messing around with some software that I have I actually have a non-disclosure agreement because I'm testing out some new software. So maybe by April VEDA, I'll be able to tell you a little bit more about it. There are a couple of issues though. I tried to publish a video with it, and it has a feature to upload the video to YouTube, but it did not actually upload the video to YouTube. So I've kind of embargoed it. I'm probably going to release it in a little while. Another issue is I like to monetize my ads or my videos, just, you know, to learn about monetization. I'm not earning really anything off of them to speak of. I mean, it's like, I think in all of August it was less than, I was maybe like 40 cents. So maybe even less than that. So it's not even like $1 a month, not even close to that. So, but I'm interested in seeing how that process works and everything. So I try and monetize them, but this tool I used, it said it offered royalty-free music that you could set your videos to, and it has some clever ways of doing that, which I thought were really neat. But then when I actually did it and uploaded it, I immediately had a copyright claim. So if it's royalty-free music, I shouldn't have a copyright claim against it. So I haven't put that video out there. I mean, I linked it to a couple friends just for some testing so I could get some metrics on it, and they liked the video. But I just don't want to get anything out there that has a copyright claim on it. I want to figure out, I mean, if this is supposed to be royalty-free music, then I shouldn't have, you know, someone else getting the revenue off of the video that I put together. So I just want to get that figured out, but that's something that'll come between now and April. So yeah, just mostly learned a lot of what I want to learn between now and April. So I'm going to be working on that stuff. There's some, I'd kind of like a wireless mic, because right now I do have a lapel mic. They call it a lavalier mic? Lavalier? I don't know, it's French. I took Spanish. I'm not really good at French pronunciations. But anyway, I like the mic, but I'd really kind of like a wireless one, because the wired mic it's got a very long wire, and it just takes a while to wrap it up every time I'm done using it. And you know, so that would be an upgrade, but I don't know how expensive that would be. I'm not sure about upgrading a camera at this point. I think the camcorder I haven't been using it just because, well, honestly, the main issue I haven't been using the camcorder is it does have Wi-Fi, so I need to dig into those features and see if I can use it to upload videos as part of the automated process. But I've been using my cell phone camera just because it's always with me, so it's always available, whereas the camcorder, I do need to carry it around, even though it's better suited for doing video. But also the cell phone, once I'm near a good Wi-Fi location, I can upload a lot of my videos pretty quickly, and that I think works well as part of the automation process. So what I've been doing is I've been kind of uploading all my videos to the YouTube video editor. I've been working from the previous day's video as kind of a template, so you might have noticed compared to April videos, of especially the second half of VEDA, kind of all the intros and outros and everything is kind of similar from video to video. So that saved a ton of time. Nowadays, the actual final video assembly doesn't take much time. It's really the bottleneck right now is just getting the videos processed the way I want them. I've had some trouble with time lapses and stuff because some of the software I've been using has, thrown weird errors. Like, I was actually going to do a pretty lengthy time lapse that I was going to upload, and there was some kind of error when I tried to export it, so I couldn't really save it. And there was a little processing. It was a really long video. It was like 45 minutes long, and I wanted to use Hyperlapse on it to really shorten it down. And since I wasn't able to export the raw video, I wasn't able to process it. So that's another thing that once I get that figured out, I'm probably going to have to deal with support on the product to find out why I'm getting the error, because I looked up their support page and none of the things that they mentioned seem to be the problem I'm having. So yeah, I think I've got a pretty sound process. There are just a couple of technical issues with video size and throughput that I need to work through, and then next VEDA will go a lot better. So anyway, I'm interested in seeing some of the things that you guys learned, especially some of the videos I mentioned earlier in my Follow Friday last week. And I'd also like to catch up a little bit on some of the people that I kind of intended to watch more but didn't have very much time. The past couple days I haven't done car vlogs because I've actually been riding my bike to work, and today we're expecting, the weather's fine right now, but it's probably going to storm right around the evening rush. So not a good day to ride my bike home. I did get a rain suit, which I hope to try out. That's another thing that I would like to do a little bit more of. Is I was looking through my Amazon history, and there are a lot of interesting products that I've purchased to try through Amazon Prime in the past, couple months, and they seem like, first of all, I'll search and see if there's already a good product review, but I definitely have some thoughts on some of them, how they've turned out. So I plan on putting some of those up as well. But hopefully, while I won't be catering to the VEDA audience, that will, that kind of thing tends to impress people. And one of the reasons I bought most of the products is to kind of solve a need from a minimalist standpoint. So that might sound kind of weird. It's like, if you're trying to do minimalist things, then why are you buying more things? And the answer is to replace other things that I have, or just to fill a need. So that I said in my last video, I try and let things I want simmer on a list for at least a week, but usually several months. And then at some point I usually end up concluding that, well, I've waited long enough and I could really use the thing just about every day. So I try and figure out where I'm going to keep it and how I'm going to incorporate it into the rest of my life, and then I pull the trigger and I order it. So, but I'd still would like to, I think, some review videos. That's something that I haven't really done a lot, and I'd like to learn a lot about, so I'll probably do some of those in the interim between now and April VEDA, if I do April VEDA again. So, and maybe I'll learn about a lot about something else and fit that in there. There are also there's an election coming up, so I might do a couple of videos on some thoughts about that, mostly from a philosophical standpoint. I'd like them to be nonpartisan videos, because I think that people cling to partisan positions too much, and I would like people to just step outside of what their political affiliation or upbringing says and just think about things in terms of right and wrong and ethics, and whether or not standing for a particular position or viewpoint is the right thing to do, regardless of whether or not all your friends are doing it. Because you can totally be a member of a party and not support some of the things that the party stands for. Though, it's interesting in the case of my spouse, when she met me, she was affiliated with one party that she was kind of raised into. That's one of the things that's kind of a red flag, is when people try to indoctrinate children with their politics or with their religion. Children are children. It's the responsibility of adults to take care of them and to give them a good set of rules and instructions and guidelines, not in the sense of like rules that you'll be punished if you violate, but to show them the rules that the real world operates on, and so that they can benefit from, use them as a shortcut. And so anyway, I'd like to kind of, my wife kind of was raised in with a certain set of with a certain political ideology, and then she kind of I kind of questioned whether or not the ideology actually delivered the results that it promised, compared to other alternatives that I had discovered and was pursuing, and found that those were delivering the results. So, which is interesting, because now I'm focusing less on political solutions and more on philosophical ones, because I've been doing that for a while, and I found that they're not getting the results that I hoped. So, I think I've even been kind of, I tried to offer her some, I don't know, reflection on that, and then I've also tried to reflect on those things myself, and it's kind of taken me away from partisanship myself, even though that's kind of where I was headed when I met her. So I try to follow my own advice. And anyway, yeah, so I might do some videos on that, but I imagine they'll be kind of boring. So, I mean, to most people, because it doesn't seem like a lot of people really care about that angle a lot. I mean, when I talk with people about, the philosophical aspects of political things that they advocate, they seem to lose interest. And, I would imagine because it's kind of uncomfortable if someone points out something that's inconsistent. So, I mean, if you're invested in a particular political party, and then someone shows you evidence that might not be the right thing to do, what are you going to do? Scrap your investment, or and listen to this newcomer? Or, I don't know. I mean, I know what I would do because I've done that, but a lot of people seem to get angry or just tune you out, or think it's boring, or say that I'm not into politics, which, well, if you're not into politics, I assure you politics is into you. It interferes with your life, and I think it's really important for people to understand how it actually works, not not how it's presented to children in schools, because how it's presented to children in schools, and in the famous Schoolhouse Rock video of how bills are made, doesn't even scratch the surface. And I was just talking with some family members over brunch, and they were talking about election fraud and all this kind of stuff, and I said, well, the majority of election fraud isn't what happens at the polls. It's in ballot access. It's how the actual ballots are assembled, how the candidates are selected for them. I mean, I wasn't a Bernie Sanders supporter, but anyone can go and look at how the Democratic Party handled Bernie Sanders. I mean, they made it clear from the very start that there was no chance that Bernie Sanders was going to be allowed to be the nominee. And I'm a little shocked that I'm not hearing really any complaints. I mean, I heard people complain when Sanders didn't get the nomination, and maybe people are going to pout, and they're going to not vote as a result of it or something like that, which I think is totally legitimate. I don't think it fixes the problem. I don't think it fixes a problem where you've got systems that pretend to be democratic, like the Democratic Party, and it's not democratic by any stretch. So anyone who was a member of that party because it was democratic should question it, and anyone who was a member of the party for other reasons should acknowledge that it's not a democratic party by any stretch, and they should lobby the leadership for a name change. So anyway, I'm headed into work got training today, and it was fun doing VEDA with you, so I probably won't have a video tomorrow. But if I get some of these other things figured out, I might find time to make them, and I would definitely like to do some of those product reviews and stuff like that. So anyway, be sure to like if you like this video, and comment on anything that you thought struck you, which so far I haven't really had a lot of comments struck you. Yeah, if there was a quote or anything that you thought sounded interesting, please point it out to me so that I can try to focus more on that kind of things. But so far, I don't think I've really seen a lot of that kind of comments. So, yeah, that's about that. And we'll see if it rains tonight. So, like, subscribe, and comment. That's it. Thanks a lot. It was good talking to you in VEDA 2016. Bye.